Do your research before selling an item on eBay. That's coming up. Hi guys. You ever get an idea or you thought something might be a good seller on eBay and then later on you find out, it's not what I thought it would be, or maybe it's a niche for it? Well, that's what happened. Welcome. My name is Rich Pasini and you're watching Everyday Vlogging with Rich Pasini. Today is December 16, 2018, and I just want to share some information with you guys out there who do follow my channel. And I want to say also thank you to the new subscribers who recently subscribed to my channel. I hope you like the content. You come back for more. For those who are new, this YouTube channel talks about everything and anything just about. I cover topics that I feel may be of interest to me and may be of interest to you. So I hope you guys will keep coming back from time to time and checking it out. But today, when I was going through my emails, I got an email from vidIQ. And for those who don't know vidIQ is a YouTube channel that helps YouTube creators such as myself. You know, it kind of like coaches you along on how to make it better, how to stand out, and how to get more subscribers, and so on and so forth. But that's not what I want to talk about today. What happened was when I went to vidIQ, the email I got from them, I was scrolling down and they had this email, and it was a YouTube channel, and I'm going to get to it in a second, but it was about different items that sell, you know, and I know it's kind of like, you know, just basic common sense, you're going to do this anyway, but you know, I'm very curious by nature, and I like to learn different things, and I'm always seeking and trying to find things out, you know, trying to find that niche or something that may be good. So I went to this channel here, this YouTube channel, and in the ad I was looking at the, you know, I have the advertisement on there. Well, not advertisement, but it was a YouTube channel that was demonstrating this particular item. And what it is folks, it's a watch that has a cigarette lighter built into it. Believe it or not. I mean, today, is anything surprising? So, you know, I'm looking at this here, and I'm saying to myself, I'm looking at the YouTube channel, you know, watching this show here, the presentation of this item. I say, you know what? That might be a good idea. You know, we all think about things of this nature. Like, you know, hey, maybe that might be a good niche. Maybe somebody might not know about this here. Only find out later on it was a dud. You know, one minute you're sitting there thinking, hey, this is great. You know, I got an idea. Then next thing you know, you say, you know, you're thinking about it, and you know, it's like, then you're so happy, right? You're saying, oh my gosh, I'm so happy. I think I got something here. I'm gonna find, you know. Then only to find out later on, it turned out to be a no-show. Well, meaning a no-show, meaning that you know, it's an item. It's out there. It's selling, but you know, you don't know how good. We never know what the eBay is selling. I sell exclusively right now on eBay, and you know, we never know from time to time what the outcome is going to be. This particular item is selling on both eBay and Amazon, of course. It's not rocket science to figure that out. But, you know, it's like, you know, how I got led into finding out about this. What I'm trying to say is, folks, I never knew about this information. I never knew about this here. Now, people may say, well, where have you been? You have, you know, what have you been doing all this time? You do research. You don't. I mean, who researches this thing? You know, who researches things like that? I mean, who's going to sit there, research a cigarette lighter? I mean, a watch that when you slide the face at, it's got a built-in cigarette lighter in it. Who's to think about that? I even seen them with flames where you got a cigarette lighter, you put a button on the side there, and a flame pops out. I guess it's got butane built into, which I'm not crazy about having something like that because I'd be afraid of something like that exploding or something like that, you know. But anyway, I never knew about these things, and you know, being a person that's, you know, I'm very curious by nature. I love to see how things are built. I like to watch people create things. I mean, I spend some time, you know, in devotion doing research on certain things that I don't always talk about on my YouTube channel. But, you know, as time goes on, I will bring that out in time to, you know, share it with you guys. That's another thing I love about doing my YouTube channel. I love to share things with people. Okay, I like to share my stories. I like to share different topics about, like I said it again, it's about everything and anything and everyday life, right? So, you know, if you are new here, you're going to see me post different content up there. It's not going to just be one particular thing per se. I do talk a lot about reselling on eBay. You know, I do talk about that because I do sell on eBay. And I like to share this information with people. So I do hope you guys will come back for more. But anyway, without further ado, let me just bump into this here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to go here, close the screen out here, and I'm going to go to this Site here. Now, this website here, YouTube channel, I should say. I'm just going to let the preview here, just show it to you. I'm going to back it up a little here in selling it. If you look at it, the watch looks pretty thick, as you could see. It's a thick watch, and there's nobody really talking to us here. It's just music playing, so I don't want you to think like, oh, you're missing out. The person's demonstrating and talking about it. They're just showing you about it. According to this here, there's no music. There's no talking in it. It's just music. So that's why I muted it. And you can see here, they slide it back, and there's a little heating element there where you could, light a cigarette. So I think in this one here, I think they do show you that there. All right, and they show you, and it's showing you over here now that you could, turn the watch, adjust the watch. But when you flip it this way, as you can see here, you get a cigarette, right? Now these are for cigarette smokers, which I don't smoke. Never did. I never plan to either. You can see there, it's actually lighting the cigarette. Okay, now I don't know what this is actually talking about here, but you can see some kind of indicator. I guess that's to let you know it's charging or the power is on, whatever. Maybe you got to turn it on to make it work. It's kind of like it's not too gaudy, but it is kind of thick. But again, I guess if you have to have a heating element in there, this is how you have to charge it up, no doubt, right? This one, and I went to. I said, okay, let me see. Let's see what it's selling for on Amazon. Okay, now they have them all different prices here. As you can see here, I thought, oh, this would be a pretty good thing. You got look at the things here. Look how it works out. Now there might be different brands like to it. I mean, like this one might be the same type. I don't know. This one looks a little different, but this one here is selling for $9.58. Okay, and this one here is selling for $15.90 when you get free shipping, right? And there are people selling them, as you can see here. It's glutted with it on Amazon, no doubt. So I mean, if people are thinking about, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to sell this here. Now not all of them have the cigarette lighters in them built in. As you can see, this one here, I don't think it does. Let's see, sporty watch, rechargeable. Okay, I guess that's the new thing now. Now you can recharge the watches with the USB cord. I would think that's how it works, instead of putting a battery in, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, you can see one over here for $15.99. The one we just see, well, this one here, we've seen a gold one, but they do have different ones here on Amazon, as you know, okay? But, again, I never knew about this stuff. And the reason why I'm sharing with you, did you guys know about it? Because I sure as heck didn't know about it, So with that, I said, okay, you know what? All right, so Amazon's selling. I'm not an Amazon seller. I'm a registered seller on Amazon, but maybe maybe there might be some, hope on eBay. So I went over to eBay and I just typed in watch with a lighter. So what came up was 92 results. Basically the same prices. Okay. As you can see here, $15.99. Range is $227.99. You can see over here now. This one here, wristwatch with built-in butane lighter, black and silver or white, dial USA stocked, $10.95. Okay, so this is what they're now supposedly. Now, if you look at this is the things I always get a kick out of. Not a kick, but it says there's 57 plus sold of this particular watch. Same thing here, 272 pieces sold. 53. This one's offered. Look at this one here with the butane in here. Look at this, the cigarette lighter. Well, I mean, it's got to have a butane in, right? I guess you got to load it up with fuel. But you see where it's coming from. And you look at these here and you say to myself, in some cases, that's what the other thing I was talking about. So, let's say you say, okay, let's if I get these here for a decent price. But first off, where are you getting from anyway? I mean, even if you say, I'll buy this for $15.99, what are you going to do? You can't really make money off it unless you're getting it for dirt cheap, right? So, now, if you look at this one here. USB gas cigarette rechargeable lighter. Look at this, okay? $6.74. It's coming from overseas. 150 plus sold. It's from China. $4.64. This one here, $3.25. I don't know. This one's got Gino Milano quartz watch with lighter. Looks nice, impressive. $25. All right, 0 bids. 5 days, 5 hours left. So and this is the thing. If you do buy these things, that's why I say you got to do your research. I mean, if you're getting these watches for like maybe $5 a pop, and you're going to try to sell them on eBay, maybe for 15 or whatever, or 16 or maybe, but even though, I mean, how can you keep up with this? You see what I'm saying, folks? You know, that's why, like I said, sometimes people may come across and say, hey, I got a great product for you. You got to check it out. And then you look and say, oh my God, how am I going to compete with these people? Look at this. Look where the rest of them are coming from. United Kingdom, from China, Hong Kong, United Kingdom. All right. How do you keep up with this here? All right. This one's got the same thing like the we just seen in gold tone. This is silver from the United Kingdom, right? $37 a best offer. New, unbranded men's. And these are a lot of these, I think, some of them are unbranded, right? That's what it looks like to me. So you really, folks, when it comes to, doing research, I was taken back to it. I said, oh, wow, because I sold a couple of watches, but I sold different watches, not this type of brand. I sold like Bolivar, oh my gosh, I can't think of the other ones offhand, Casio watches and stuff like that. But they were pre-owned. But I mean, I think I would have a better chance of making money with them than I would with these. So sometimes, you might say, well, if I buy a brand new one like this here, I have a better chance of selling it than a pre-owned. Yes and no. I mean, folks, you say, yeah, but there's only, if you look at the market, so let's scroll back up on eBay here, you say there's only 92 results showing. Okay? So, if you throw your hat in the ring and say, well, there's only 92, I might have a good chance to sell it. Look, again, if you can get them for this price, you're okay. All right? But you're going to have to order, all right, and I got more colors and stuff like that. But again, look where they're coming from. How could you keep up with it? Look at this here. All right, now this one says 464. And look, brand new. And according to this, 76%, 76 plus sold with 7% off. Okay? Sometimes, I think this is what makes things a little difficult as far as selling. Now here, this one's for $239 to $1166. Let's click it on and see what it looks like. Okay. Its location is Shenzhen, China. Price $2.39. Now that you gotta, with these prices, you always gotta look. So it says brand color, band color and model. This price will tend to change. I found out quite a few times. Let's say you want to get it black. Well, let's get the white one. Well, all right. I don't know what that one is. And see, take notice. Some of those watches look like they changed here, right? See, this is the other thing too. All right, let's see here the model. All right, let's see something here without a lighter. Okay, this is let's leave it with the lighter. Okay, so right now it's selling for this, and check this out. Check this out. Free economy shipping. I mean, are they selling these things for? Are they making these things for pennies on a dollar? Look at this. Look, do you believe this? Look at the price. And I'm not making this stuff up. Look, free economy shipping outside. It's the CC details, but I'm just saying. How do you compete? All right. Look, I'm just trying to say, folks, when it comes to doing things of this nature, make sure you do your research. I'm just going to bump out of here really quick. I just wanted to share this information with you guys. Sometimes myself, I'm always trying to, stay in the game, so to speak. And you come across it. And here's the thing I'm trying to bring out too. Here's the other thing I want to bring to your attention. You might find these watches ended up in thrift stores. Okay, and I assure you this. Okay, I can assure you this. If they have any idea of what they're selling for on eBay, you're going to get, especially if it's a pre-owned watch. Now, I'm not saying you're going to see qualities in the thrift stores, but I would tend to believe that as time goes on, people may get rid of them, right? And you're going to see them in the thrift stores. You may not see them for like next to nothing in there. Believe me, my thrift stores I go to, they sell watches, and sometimes they're pretty. I'll give you an example. I bought a Disney watch. I spent a nice dollar on it. Okay, what I have it up for sale for, and what I'm going to get for it are two different things. But I assure you one thing: that watch was not cheap, and it was pre-owned. It's a Disney watch, but it was in comparison with the price what they were selling for. Okay, now I don't know if I'm going to get my money back on that. Okay, watch is in good condition. It's like brand new condition. It still has the plastic on the face of it. And I've been sitting on that watch. It doesn't come with a box or the instructions on it. You don't really need it because I think it's a wind-up watch. But I can't unload it for beans. I can't get rid of it. So, my take is when you're doing your research, folks, make sure you research it and see if it's worth even getting involved with. First off, I don't know where those watches are coming from. Now, I didn't go into, no, the only thing I could think of, they may be sourcing it from Alibaba, okay, and that's in China. They may be able to get those. And again, if you're going to get them for a decent price, you probably have to buy in large quantities, okay? I don't think you're going to get, unless you get sample watches where they say, we'll send you a sample for $5 or something like that, and you get it, and whatever, and then you pop it up on eBay or Amazon. You say, well, I'm going to try to sell for $15. Good luck, because a lot of competition out there. Even though you say it's only 92, you still got Amazon to deal with too. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is be careful, be cautious when it comes to doing your research, and don't get so excited and say, I think I landed on something, a good idea. I just happened to come across. I never even knew about these things, to be honest with you. Whoever heard of a watch that has a built-in cigarette light in it? I mean, I didn't know about it, and that's, like I said, that's why I'm bringing it to your attention. I'm thinking, oh, this is a great idea. I'm gonna, maybe if I would order a couple, but then I ask myself, I don't even know where I'm gonna get them from. And again, what are you gonna do? You're gonna buy it off of. Here's the thing. Here's another thing too. I want to share with you guys out there, for those who want to get involved with selling on eBay or Amazon. You heard of retail arbitrage. Retail arbitrage is where people go to regular department stores. They go there when they have clearance or discounts, and they go out and buy the items. They put them up on eBay and Amazon, and supposedly they're making a nice dollar from them. Let's put it that way. I hear so many different stories. Oh, I do retail arbitrage. You hear these stories, people making $50,000 a month, $10,000 a month, all these ridiculous things here, or $50,000 a year, whatever. All these different things. My father, God rest his soul, had a saying: "Believe what you see, and only half of what you hear." And believe me, that's the way I go. That's the way I grow in my life. That's why I look at my life that way. But anyway, you could pick stuff like that up and thinking you're going to make a killing on it, and you find out later on it's not what you thought. I went sourcing with a relative of mine, and I picked up a particular item, and the person said, "Well, these usually sell on." These usually sell good on the Amazon. People look for it. Oh, not Amazon, eBay. Clothing. And I bought it. And to be honest with you, it's been close to a year that I'm still sitting on it. My take is first off, unless that person who you're hanging out with or sourcing with knows the market really good and what people are actually looking for, do your own research. That's all I can tell you, because for the simple reason is we could speculate. And we could sit there and say, well, this is going to sell and that's going to sell. I've done it myself. Believe me, I have bought a lot of things thinking that, okay, this looks like it's going to sell. When I first started getting into this here, I was picking stuff up basically saying, oh, I'm going to just sell this and sell that. I'm going to, thinking a general merchandiser, right? And I'm sitting there thinking, this is going to sell, that's going to sell, this is going to sell. People want this. And you find out, look, I'm not an antique appraiser. Okay, I'm not an appraiser. I'm not a person that can sit there and say, well, this is what's going to sell. I do research to some point, but I can't research thousands of items out there and say, well, and then go sourcing and say, this is the particular thing I'm looking for. This is what I want to buy. Now, I'm not saying people don't do that. They don't have that luck and they do that there. There are people out there that sell and know what to look for based on their experience, how many years they've been in this business. Now, I've been selling on eBay since, June of 2016, since I got laid off from eBay, since I got laid off from my job back in 2016. And I started getting into eBay. Basically, it's still kind of like a hobby type of thing, because, if you're not making enough sales, to me, it's like a hobby income. But I'm doing it kind of like, if you want to say full-time / hobby, that's what it's like. It's a full-time hobby, to be honest with you, because I'm not making great sales with it. And that's what I'm trying to say in regards to when it goes to sourcing items. Don't be one of these type of people that you say, I used to hear it on eBay radio, used to drive me crazy. You got to go out and source every day. You got to list every day. They'll put you high in the search engine. There may be some validity to that, folks, but I don't buy into it all the time, okay? I tried all that. I had at one time, and it's not a lot of listings. I had close to like 378 listings, and none of that stuff I had was moving at one point, okay? And all I was doing is racking up big insertion fees at the end of the month from eBay, and the payments that I was given to eBay because it was being on a good to cancel, that's another nightmare. I could have leased out a small mid-sized car. I could have literally went to a deal and say, let me lease out this car because this is how much, that's how much bills I was racking up with eBay. And people might say, well, how's that possible? Well, believe me, it's possible. When you got good to cancel and it keeps going over and over again, 378, almost close to 4, then I was close. I was running it up. I thought about maybe I'll keep it at 400 and round it off and keep it at 400. And I'm glad I didn't. And what happened was sales would go so stagnant that nothing was moving. I took 226 listings off. I just ended all those listings because I wasn't making enough money to cover the insertion fees. Okay, so when you're not making enough money to come to cover your insertion fees, it's time to think about how you got to re-strategize your thinking here. And that's why, like I said, sometimes you hear people go, you go out and buy, you got to keep buying, you got to keep sourcing, keep sourcing over and over again. You keep doing that, and in the meantime, you're tying money up. You may need it to pay bills, especially if you're doing it on a full-time basis. You need money to pay bills. Who's got time to sit there racking $300-400, whatever it is, on sourcing items that you don't know if they're going to sell or not today or tomorrow? I've been sitting on stuff that's been up there for over a year, thinking it was going to sell. Oh, this is going to sell. Oh, that's going to sell. Then people tell you, oh, electronics sells. Sony's good. This is good. That brand's good. Oh, Disney stuff sells. This. I got Disney stuff. I can't give it away. Well, I can give it away, but I'm saying on eBay, I'm talking about. Nobody's really interested in it. And I'm not saying this here, in a derogative or in a derogative way to, indirectly bash eBay and put them down and stuff. But, folks, the bottom line is, let's face it. I mean, I've been reading on some of these websites where they are experiencing, they got a lot of glitches still going on, okay? Some people, I was just looking at another website there where a person was complaining that none of their items were showing up. Their listings weren't showing up in search. Another one was saying there's some other glitches going on. I don't know if it's with the payment system. I mean, I'm not, look, it may be riddled and plagued with a lot of glitches and stuff like that, but for crying out loud, man, I like eBay. I'm still on it. I'm still, still in the game, so to speak. But man, they really need to, they got to step, like one eBay teammate told me, you need to step up your game. Well, eBay, you need to step up your game and get those problems, whatever glitches you got going on, and straighten them out so people can start making money. There are people that do this for a living, and they're having a hard time. I was just reading another site there in the eBay community chat board. This was going back in July, and I was looking at the old thing, July of this year, not July of 10 years ago, and the person said, I'm not making enough money to cover my eBay fees. Now, when you got a problem like that, that's a problem. If you're not making enough money on it, that's a problem. You got more. I always say this: when you got more money going out than coming in, that's a big problem. Okay. So the point in closing is, before you start, if you are new to eBay and you're thinking about getting involved with this business, folks, do a lot of research. Don't quit your day job. Okay. If you're going to do it, this is my advice to get to people. If you're going to do this job, this type that you want to get in this business, do it on a part-time venture, do it as a hobby venture, whatever, but whatever you do, don't quit your day job. I'm serious, because unless you have tons and tons of money, excuse me, you got tons and tons of money to back you up, to make sure you're maintaining your mortgage, your car payments, your credit card bills, whatever, don't do it. Don't. I mean, I'm not saying not to get into the business, but don't quit your day job. Okay, that's all I'm saying. That's my advice to you, because I think a lot of people are on the assumption that I'm going to go into business on eBay and I'm going to quit my day job. I heard that one time on eBay radio, and it drives me. When I used to hear people come on there, and it would drive me crazy, because I love my job. I love what I did. Okay, people say, well, if you love it so much, why don't you go back to it? I went through, not to give a sob story, I went through 2 company layoffs and 1 company bankruptcy. So I did the old strike 3 policy. You're out. I said, this is the 3rd time. I said, let me try it myself this time, see where I get. Now, people say, well, you can't expect in 2 years, 2-3 years, you're going to become successful. No, I'm not saying that. But for crying out loud, I mean, I need to make money to maintain a certain lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? When you get laid off from work, people get severance packages, all that stuff there, and it hopefully keeps you going and stuff. But eventually, when you start picking at that reserve money you got, it's like throwing a loaf of bread out to a bunch of birds, and the loaf of bread is shrinking, you know what I'm saying? Because the more birds come in to eat it, the more it's gone, you know what I'm saying? That's what it's like. You end up having crumbs. And that's what's going to eventually happen with people that think I'm going to do this and I'm going to be successful. And the thing is, what really gets me going, and I'm not saying this in a bad way for people out there that have up all these programs or they are writing books on how to sell on eBay. I can give you free information right this very minute and tell you how to break into this business. You don't have to buy an eBay book. Back in the day, Griff had the book there. Griff, he works at eBay. It was like the eBay Bible to selling. It was this thick. I don't know how many pages it was, 1,500, 1,000, but whatever it was. And I'm looking at it and I'm saying to myself, this is all based on common sense. This is not rocket science, okay? I mean, seriously, you don't have to be you don't have to have an MBA to sell on eBay. Although they probably hire MBAs at eBay to, do all their marketing and, all their accounting work and so on and so forth. But to get into this line of work, into this business, it's very cut and dry, very basic. Okay, there's nothing really to get involved with eBay, all right, or any of the Amazon either. The only thing you got to conform to is their rules and regulations. Now, I know with Amazon, I'm a registered seller on Amazon, and I'm also a registered seller on Etsy, but I don't sell on them at the present time. The only thing I recently put up on Mercari, I think it was the Sony player, and that's going nowhere. Okay, I heard even with other sites, on other been on blog sites, Mercari. Some people say they're doing better than on Mercari than they are on eBay and so forth and so on. On eBay, Amazon, Mercari and Poshmark and Etsy, they're doing better than those than eBay and Amazon. Supposedly making sales, but they all have little differentials with them. There's little tidbits of information that you got to comply with them in order to make that to follow their criteria. In other words, to work the way they have it set up in there. First for Amazon, for example, with Amazon, I have to get approval for certain things I want to sell on there. And every time I try to put, like a couple times I try to sell, like if there was a Sony product one time, I don't know if it was a digital camera, whatever it was, I had to get approval. And then I think it was even to the point where they wanted me, I don't know if I had to get something from the company saying it's okay that I could sell the product. I said, this is crazy. I'm not going to, that's why I don't sell on Amazon. I'm a registered seller. I got to say this. I mean, I did in the past, I sold a few little things on Amazon that I was, quote unquote, allowed to sell, and it wasn't nothing to write home about, folks, believe me. I did. It was a couple of items, maybe, I don't know, maybe I could say maybe 3 items maybe I might have sold on Amazon. And the reason why is because all the other things I wanted to sell on Amazon, I always had to have approval for it. You had an approval for this, approval for that. And I just got disgusted with it. I got fed up with it. I said, I don't really deal with it. And as far as like with Poshmark, I never really dealt with them. And then the other one is Etsy. Etsy's another one they have certain criteria to meet. They want certain things for you that you could list on there, and certain things I guess you can't list. I think with Etsy, I don't know if they say clothes, but I think it's more Etsy. I think is more like a handmade stuff, like they have like stuff that's made. Like if you're a person that does crafts and things of that nature. If you're going to unload clothing, there's another one called Thread Up, and the other one is Poshmark, of course. There might be another one. I think there's another one called Declutter. I think it's Declutter. I think those are the ones you can sell for clothes there. But again, you got to read all the little fine details with these companies here, because everything sounds so great and glorified and everything else. So you really got to do your research as far as things of that nature. Now, a lot of these sellers you hear, like on YouTube, that talk about it, they don't sell just on eBay exclusively. Some do. Some do sell on other platforms. Okay, I guess that's what keeps the revenue stream coming in. People may say, "Oh, that's what I should do." I'm looking into it. I have a lot of clothing, ladies, girls' clothing, women's clothing, that I'm thinking of maybe just getting it's selling in lots. I'm going to think of doing that there, taking pictures or doing videos on it and show people for the women out there, this is what I got. These are the sizes. They're all size 6, they're all size 9 or whatever, and maybe sell them in lots, because they are good clothing. There's no rips or tears or anything like that. They're good clothing, good wearable, and they got a lot of wearable use on them. But for the most part, don't be taken in by all of that stuff, folks. Don't be taken in by numbers. A lot of people throw big numbers out there. Oh, you can make this much money a month, this much. There's one person, I'm not going to mention the person's name. I'm trying to think what his person was saying. This person claims they do $50,000 a month Another person I heard does they do 100,000 a month. I don't know what they're selling. They might be drop shippers. I don't know. All I know is I couldn't do that type of volume. I'm a one-man band. Okay. Yeah, I have family that could help. My daughters would probably help me out. I have family members that could probably help me out. But first of all, I don't have that. There's another person, a seller, an eBay seller. I went looking at the person's listings. They had 21,000 things listed. 21,000. 21,000 listings. Could you imagine that person's eBay insertion fees? Hopefully they make enough money to cover that, because let me tell you something. They may have an anchor store, whatever. I don't know how that works if you pay so much of money, but that's pricey too. If the person's making that, they have to be making that kind of money, because if you have 21,000 listings and these are their own items, this is not stuff that's imported, as far as I know. This is stuff that they accumulated. They go out, I guess they thrift a lot, and apparently people that have that many listings probably have a lot of money to play around with. Okay, they may be an established business. I don't know, maybe they're in it with partners or whatever. But all I know is that's a lot of listings to have. Okay, I couldn't maintain and fathom the idea of that, especially being a one-man band. Although people may say, yeah, but if you have that many listings, you'll probably be able to hire people, because hopefully you're making enough money to compensate that capital expenditure, so to speak, that amount of money. Yeah, I would have to, because there's no way I could do it. Okay, being comfortable. For myself, with the little 118 little items I got there, comfortably, I could probably do, I don't know, it depends on when the sales come, when the orders come in. All right, if you break it down in an 8-hour day, which most entrepreneurs, if you are an entrepreneur, know sometimes people work, I've read stories about them, work 16, 18 hours a day. Listen, I wouldn't have a problem doing that, but again, it all depends on how well versed and sourced you are, and how much material, like package supplies you got. Because I've been in situations where I had things of that nature, not all at one time, and I didn't do inventory on my supplies, the packaging material. I end up having to run out to the store, buy packaging tape, boxes, and so on and so forth. Although I do make custom boxes. If you ever get a chance, check out my videos on custom boxes. But really, folks, if you're going to get involved with this business, do your research, and don't let big numbers overtake you and say, oh, this person's saying that they sell this, they're making thousands a month. That may be them, but it ain't you right now, right? So be careful in regards to sourcing every day and listing every day. Be cautious with that, folks, because I know people say it has a lot to do with you'll get higher in search. But here's the other thing I want to say in closing. I read recently where there's been a problem with eBay's Pasini search engine. Now, I was looking at another blog site last night, and somebody said their listings ain't showing up. Now, I don't know all the glitches. I mean, I heard of some of the glitches going on. This Pasini search engine thing here, I don't know if it has something to do with parallels with, I think it parallels with, with Google search, whatever. I don't know if there's a unified algorithm that they both work. If you see it, if you do a listing in Google, or if you do a searching on your item in eBay, it'll hopefully show up in Google search. So it may be one of those bilateral things where they both work hand in hand in unison with each other. But remember one thing, folks. I'm not saying this here to shatter anybody's dreams. I wish everybody all the best of luck out there. And if you are going to venture into this type of business, reselling, there are people out there that'll say, I've been doing business, I've been doing this. And there's no doubt they are. 19 years, 20 years, 15 years. I guess even in the inception when eBay was first started, back 1995, I think it was. I've been registered on eBay back in July of 1999. Okay, so I got some time in there, but for me, just to give you a little heads up, it was always it was nothing that it was an on-off thing. I didn't think much of eBay back then, 1999, when I signed up with them. I remember selling a few things around the house, a stereo, some Atari video games and stuff like that. And I started like that back then. But going forward, when my kids started, when we had started a family, buying a house and working a job in IT, it was a very stressful job. The last thing on mind was coming home and saying, I'm going to work on eBay, because I worked 3 12-hour days on, and it was a stressful job, working IT back then. And you know, back then, like I said again, I wasn't thinking about eBay. So, I mean, yeah, when people say I've been selling on eBay for 15 years, 16 years, 19, I believe it, okay? I mean, but the only thing with me is I wasn't that, you know, diverse in it where I was selling it perpetual, like going on and on and on a daily basis, okay? I wasn't doing it that way. You know, I didn't, first off, I didn't have an accumulation of stock where I could sell stuff like that. I was just breaking into it. I was learning a little about it. I liked back in the day, I liked doing mail order, to be honest with you. I was getting more involved in mail order. I was, you know, I used to import Christmas greeting cards over from Hong Kong, you know, from China. So people say, oh, there you go. Well, back then, that was back then. I don't do it now. But I was trying to get into the greeting card business back then. And I was starting off small, you know, and but it, you know, needless to say, it kind of like panned out. You know, people may say, well, if you stuck to it back then. I had a full-time job. This was not even a thought right at the time. I mean, like I said, I registered with it, but it wasn't something you said, well, this guy's, you know, I'm doing it full-time. I couldn't afford to do it full-time. Wasn't making a full. First off, with the way it is now, you can't make a full-time income with it right now. So I can't afford to, you know, do things like that, you know. But all I'm saying, folks, be careful, do your research, and remember, folks, believe what you see and only half of what you hear, because there's a lot of stuff going on out there. A lot of people, I'm not saying it in a bad way, but a lot of people do mean well. They really do. They do mean well, and they will give advice and stuff like that. But just be careful. Anything you get involved with, you know, just use caution. That's all I could say, folks. Anyway, this is Rich Pasini signing off. Today is December 16, 2018. I hope you like this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, like, comment, and share. And if you want more information, please hit that bell notification icon. And when I post new videos, you will get those updates. Thanks again, guys. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.